Bucs got it done with Zac Robinson as their offensive coordinator. He was introduced yesterday, and when we think about Zac Robinson in the future for this Buccaneers, we heard a very confident Zac Robinson yesterday, but also there were a couple strange things from that press conference. Now, there were two things yesterday that happened. Zac Robinson had the introductory press conference, and then he joined us right here on WDAE with T. Kraz in the afternoon, and he had an interview with T. Kraz. And he was asked about Mike Evans in both the press conference and with T. Kraz. T. Kraz's interview was after the press conference, so a little bit more time to think about what he had, maybe some of the questions he had heard at the press conference, maybe change his answers up a little bit.
He knew he was going to get the tough questions from T. Kraz.
When it comes to Mike Evans, Pat, I didn't think that was going to be the toughest question. We all know there's a decision looming with Mike, and it's probably going to be on Mike. Well, it's going to be on Mike. The Bucs want Mike back. It's going to be a matter of dollars as well.
I'm almost surprised, to be honest with you, that Zac Robinson was asked about it.
And it didn't sound like he was prepared in the press conference. Here is his answer, and I'm going to, spoiler alert, it's not a long one, but when he was asked about Mike Evans, and once again, this was during the press conference, he was asked if he's heard from Mike Evans since he got the job, and here's the answer.
I'll kind of leave that out.
Huh? What?
During the year, that's like players talk to coaches, and there's a lot of situations where they say, hey, we're going to leave that between us. In this moment, that came across as very odd.
I don't get it at all.
Very easily to just say no.
If he's heard from Mike Evans since he got the job,
I'll kind of leave that out.
Why? It's a yes or no. That was weird.
He didn't want the follow-up.
I don't know. I'm dumbfounded. I don't know. It makes no sense to me.
If you haven't heard from Mike Evans, or at least if you're not telling people whether or not you've heard from Mike Evans, you cannot answer the next inevitable question. Like if you say, yes, Mike called me yesterday,
then the follow-up you can say, hey, I'm not going to get into the specifics. Or the answer is just no. Like very easy.
It still lends itself to speculation.
I'll kind of leave that out.
Why would you leave it out? Why can't you just say yes or no? If you get the follow-up, the yes, hey, that conversation's private. I just got here, just got into town. Not going to get into that. We were, that's between us.
Still lends itself to speculation.
Fine.
Why is a guy who's potentially going to retire calling you, or potentially leaving the team calling you?
Because at least for fans, you go, okay, at least he's having a conversation with the offensive coordinator. Not the answer. You think that is going to leave more questions in the air than this answer?
I'll kind of leave that out.
It's a weird way to answer it.
So then he had a little bit more time to regroup. And then he joined T. Kraz on the drive. Very nice of him to join us on WDAE. And his answer was, I'd say, a little more thought out than earlier in the press conference. Here it is.
Yeah, here for 2 days. I've been here for a couple days now, and know that there's going to be a lot of conversations, that partake with that. I know our limitations to, speak with players at this time is always a sensitive thing. So we'll let those things kind of sort out over the next couple months. But man, the fact that it's a possibility for him to come back, everybody would obviously love that in this building. The city of Tampa, what he's done for this organization speaks for itself. So we would be obviously extremely excited once he makes that decision, and we'll be monitoring obviously all off season and when the rules kind of dictate of when those things can take place.
He fixed it up. He really fixed that answer up.
We're going to be very excited, he said. I think he doesn't want I get why more than how. I'm leaving that out comment was weird. It was weird. His answer to T. Kraz was a little more political or whatever.
Thought out. It was thought out.
Yeah, better thought out. But the reality is, you know what he can't do? Zac Robinson on his first day as a Buccaneer and the new offensive coordinator can't be the one who breaks the news that Mike Evans is coming back.
I'll kind of leave that out.
And
exclamation point.
To me, that's what he's leaving out. If he's leaving out anything, right? I know some Bucs fans will speculate oh no, does this mean something bad? Should we be worried that Mike's not coming back?
I am.
Really?
Yes.
I'm not at all.
And
more than I was yesterday.
At first, now he didn't give any indication of this, but it just got my head moving yesterday when I heard this. I'm thinking, Mike really might retire. And then I'm thinking even further and going, I thought there was no chance Mike would ever leave this organization.
Hey, so do I. Still believe that.
Does it not creep in your mind a little bit?
Nope.
Not at all.
Nope.
If you found out soon that Mike Evans signs blank with blank, not the Buccaneers, what are you thinking? What is your reaction to that?
I'll be shocked.
Most like one of the most shocked you've ever been? What's your level of shock?
Maybe the most shocked I've been in Tampa Bay because I just believe in Mike Evans as a man and I believe in his word. And I was in the room when somebody asked the question about if he would have gone to Houston and he kind of like laughed and was like, I'm always going to be a Buccaneer, right? Like he's not leaving. He's not leaving. If you're in the car, if you're freaking out, Aaron, I'll tell you, he ain't go. You can play the, the DiCaprio. I'm not going anywhere. Like Mike Evans is going nowhere. If he retires, potentially that could happen. I would also be shocked because like I said yesterday, we're talking about a guy who is forever when asked the question recently about potentially retiring, says, well, even if I play 3 or 4 more years. When a guy says even if I play 3 or 4 more years, that tells me he's not thinking about retiring. And I'm telling you, if you saw the look on his face, I don't think it was – because it was like he laughed and he said, I'm always going to be a Buccaneer. Like it wasn't like a big thing. He had already re-signed to come back here. I think we all knew at that point he wasn't leaving. And to me, if there's anything that Zac Robinson doesn't want to let out of the bag, it's that he knows that Mike's coming back, and he can't be the one to break that news. I would much more believe that than there's any chance of Mike going anywhere.
He even mentioned some of that, like there's some things he can't get into, essentially.
And
so
I kind of don't remember if he said will or would, but he said either will or would be very excited when it happens. Which, like...
All right, you got me back.
Sounds like he knows it's happening.
You got me back, dude.
Dude, Mike's not going anywhere.
He's not going to say it again.
I wish Mike's not going anywhere.
Oh, man, I like
right?
that.
Dude, I'm telling you, if you saw the look on his face, I wish I remember when exactly it was, and maybe we could find the video or something, because I'm sure somebody posted it. But he just like the question came up about if he had gone to Houston or something along those lines, and he just kind of laughed and was like, I'm not going anywhere. Mike's a Buccaneer until he retires. And I'll be shocked if that's this offseason too.
Exclamation point.
Yeah, exclamation points.
I hope it's the case because I loved everything I heard from Zac Robinson yesterday. I really did. I love his energy. He seems to have a plan. He has the experience enough to get to where we need to get as what he says a top 5 offense. If you missed it, he said that on the Drive with T-Krez as well. And he believes it. I believe him.